Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Radha Gopinath, Radha Gopinath, Shri Radhe. Jaya Radha Madhav, Radha Madhav, Shri Radhe. Jaya Radha Gokulanand, Radha Gokulanand, Shri Radhe. Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadrama, Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadrama, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Panchatattva, Jaya Panchatattva, Jaya Panchatattva, Jaya Panchatattva, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. So Hare Krishna everyone, welcome again to Friday Bhagavad Gita class. So we are doing uh, chapter 5 and shlok number 27 and 28. So before we start the reading or discussion, let's do a quick Mangalacharan. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Agyantimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurube Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupam Kadameham Dadati Sapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuddha Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavam Sa Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Saganar Gunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalitha Shri Vishakha Vitam Sa He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Shri Radha Kanta Namastute तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विश्वभानुसुते देवी परमामि हरिप्रिय वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुव एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा। Hare Krishna. So we are continuing reading from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 5, shlok number 27, as 27 and 28 are together. So we try to read it together. So I try to read the Sanskrit pronunciation. So it is here it goes. Sparshan कृत्वा बहिर्बहमाभयंस चक्षुष च वन्तरे भ्रुवो प्राणापानोनु समो कृत्वा नासाभिर्भयन्तरा चारिणो यत् 28 यतेन्द्र मनोबुद्धिर् मुनिर्मोक्षापरा यनः विगा विगाते च भया क्रोधो यः सदा मुक्त एव सा. I will request if anyone wants to read the shloka, please do it now.
स्पर्शान् कृत्वा बहिर्बाह्यं चक्षुश्चैवान्तरे भो प्राणापानो समो कृत्वा नासाभ्यन्तरचारिणो यतेन्द्रियामनो बुद्धि मुनिर्मोक्षपरायणः विगतेक्ष भयक्रोधो यः सदा मुक्त एव स.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So let's go word by word. Sparshan, sense objects such as sound. Kritva, keeping. Bhahi, external. Bhayan, unnecessary. Chakshu, eyes. Cha, also. Eva, certainly. Antare, between. Bhruvo, the eyebrows. Prana, apanu, up and down, moving air. Samu, in suspension. Kritva, keeping. Nasa abhiyantara, within the nostrils. Charino, blowing. Yata, controlled. Indriya, senses. Manaha, mind. Buddhihi, intelligence. Manuhi, the transcendentalist. Munihi, transcendentalist. Moksha, for liberation. Parayanaha, yanaha, being so destined. Vigata, have discarded. Icha, wishes. Bhaya, fear. Krodha, anger. Yah, one who. Sada, always. Mukta, liberated. Eva, certainly. Sa, he is. So I'm now going to read the translation by His Divine Grace Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So I just request everyone to repeat after me. Shutting out all external sense objects, keeping the eyes and vision concentrated between the two eyebrows, suspending the inward and outward breaths within the nostrils, and thus controlling the mind, senses, and intelligence. The transcendentalist aiming at liberation becomes free from desire, fear, and anger. One who is always in this state is certainly liberated. So, if anybody wants to read the translation, please go ahead and read once, then we will go to purport. Okay, let's please kindly listen the purport. Purport starts. Being engaged in Krishna consciousness, one can immediately understand one's spiritual identity, and then one can understand the Supreme Lord by means of devotional service. When one is well situated in devotional service, one comes to the transcendental position, qualified to feel the presence of the Lord in the sphere of one's activity. This particular position is called liberation in the Supreme. After explaining the above principle of liberation in the Supreme, the Lord gives instruction to Arjuna as to how one can come out to that position by the practice of mysticism or yoga known as Ashtanga Yoga, which is divisible into eightfold procedure called Yam, Niyam, Asana, Pranayam, Pratihara, Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi. In the sixth chapter, the subject of yoga is explicitly detailed, And at the end of the fifth, it is only preliminary explained. One has to drive out the sense objects such as sound, touch, form, taste, and smell by pratihara process in yoga, and then keep the vision of the eyes between the two eyebrows and concentrate on the tip of nose with half closed lids. There is no benefit in closing the eyes altogether, because then there is every chance of falling asleep. Nor is there is a benefit in opening the eyes completely, because then there is a hazard of being attracted by sense objects. The breathing movement is restrained within the nostrils by neutralizing the up moving and down moving air within the body. By practice of such yoga, one is able to gain control over the senses, refrain from outward sense objects, and thus prepare oneself for liberation in the Supreme. This yoga process helps one become free from all kind of fear and anger, and thus feels the presence of super soul in the transcendental situation. In other words, Krishna consciousness is the easiest process of executing yoga principles. This will be thoroughly explained in the next chapter. A Krishna conscious person, however, being always engaged in devotional service, does not risk losing his senses to some other engagement. This is better way of controlling the senses than by Ashtanga Yoga. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So I just continue to the next shloka, and then we will discuss all these three shlokas in with some examples. So let's read the next shloka. It starts like this: Bhukta Bhoktaram Yo Bhoktaram Yagna Tapsam Sarva Loka Maheshwaram Shurdham Sarva Bhutanam Gyantva Mam Satim Racheti Bhoktaram Yagnatapsam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Suhardam Sarvabhutanam Gyatva Mam Santim Rachiti. If anybody wants to read, please read now.
भोक्तारां यज्ञतपसां सर्वलोकामहेश्वरं सुहृदं सर्वभूतानां ज्ञात्वा मां शान्तिमृच्छति.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Let's go look at the word by word translation. Bhoktaram, the beneficiary. Yajna of sacrifices. Tapsam, and penances and austerities. Sarvaloka, of all planets and demigods thereof. Maha Ishwaram, the Supreme Lord. Suhridayam, the benefactor. Sarva, of all. Bhutanam, the living entities. Gyantva, thus knowing. Mam, me, Lord Krishna. Shantim, relief from material pangs. Rachati, one achieves. Let's read translation and purport written by His Divine Grace Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. A person in full consciousness of me, knowing me to be the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifices and austerities, the Supreme Lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attain peace from the pangs of material miseries, not mercies. Mercies we will get if we get rid of material miseries. Purport: the conditioned souls within the clutches of the illusory energy are all anxious to attain peace in the material world, but they don't know the formula for peace, which is explained in this part of Bhagavad Gita. The greatest peace formula is simply this: Lord Krishna is the beneficiary in all human activities. Men should offer everything to the transcendental service of the Lord, because he is the proprietor of all planets and demigods thereon. No one is greater than he. He is greater than the greatest of demigods, Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma. In the Vedas, Sattvish Avatara Upanishad 6.7, the Supreme Lord is described as Tvam Ishwaranam Param Maheshwaram. Under the spell of illusion, living entities are trying to be lords of all they survey, but actually they are dominated by material energy of the Lord. The Lord is the master of material nature, and the conditional souls are under the stringent rules of material nature. Unless one understands these bare facts, it is not possible to achieve peace in the world, either individually or collectively. This is the sense of Krishna consciousness. Lord Krishna is the supreme predominator, and all living entities, including the great demigods, are his subordinates. One can attain perfect peace only in complete Krishna consciousness. The fifth chapter is a practical explanation of Krishna consciousness, generally known as Karma Yoga. The question of mental speculation as to how Karma Yoga can give liberation can give liberation is answered herewith. To work in Krishna consciousness is to work with the complete knowledge of the Lord as the predominator. Such work is not different from transcendental knowledge. Direct Krishna consciousness is Bhakti Yoga, and Jnana Yoga is the path leading to Bhakti Yoga. Krishna consciousness means to work in full knowledge of one's relationship with the Supreme Absolute, and perfection of the consciousness is, is full knowledge of Krishna. So this line is very important, which I repeat again. Krishna consciousness means to work in full knowledge of one's relationship with the Supreme Absolute, and the perfection of the consciousness is full knowledge of Krishna, or Supreme Personality of Godhead. A pure soul is eternal servant of God as his fragmental part and parcel. He comes into contact with Maya, illusion, due to desire to lord, it over Maya, and this is the cause of his many sufferings. As long as he is in contact with matter, he has to execute work in terms of material necessities. Krishna consciousness, however, brings one into spiritual life even while one is within the jurisdiction of matter, for it is an arousing of spiritual existence by practice in the material world. The more one is advanced, more he is freed from the clutches of matter. The Lord, the Lord is not partial toward anyone. Everything depends on one's practical in performance of duties in Krishna consciousness, which helps one control the senses in every respect, and conquer the influence of desire and anger. And one who stands fast in the Krishna consciousness, controlling the above mentioned passions, remains factually in the transcendental stage or a Brahma Nirvana. The eightfold yoga mysticism is automatically practiced in Krishna consciousness, because ultimate purpose is served. There is a gradual process of elevation in the practice of yama, niyama, asana, pranayam, pratyahara, dharana, dhyan, and samadhi. But these only preface perfection by devotional service, which alone can avert peace to the human being, and it is the highest perfection of life. So this line here is very important. Last line where Prabhupada said, but there is only preface perfection by devotional service. Prabhupada is clearly saying, and Krishna is clearly explaining, that devotional service will overtake everything. If you follow devotional service properly, then everything will be done. We can achieve perfection in this only life. So I have small presentation which talks about liberation and how it's all started. Let me go back to here. So we are here where it says 5.27 to 29, 3-point formula. So this shloka we already did, but there are some important things or summary which is highlighted in it, which we talks about from 5.17 to 26. I want to start by simply explaining some of those which are here, that in the 17th, in the this shlokas 5.17 to 5.26, Krishna is highlighting the summary and characteristics of enlightened liberated karma yogi. That means our Guru Maharaj or our senior devotees in this disciplic succession. So what is the first quality? First quality is equal vision to all living entities. That means they don't see a devotee or a non-devotee in a different way. They don't see animal or insect or a human. They don't differentiate, say, oh, this is a human being, this is just a cat or a dog. They see everyone with the same, because they know Krishna resides in everyone as super soul. So in the 19th shloka, Krishna said that self-realized soul or a Krishna devotee has no attraction, no aversion to the matter, that he is flawless and impartial like Lord. He is developed so much love by hearing Krishna Katha that he has no attraction for the material world. He only has attraction to listen about Krishna, to take darshan of Krishna, and take prasadam and take association with devotees of Krishna. So then in the 20th shloka, it talks about intelligence. How? Because they are following they already know I don't have attraction to material things by practicing Krishna consciousness or by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Their intelligence is fixed in self, and one knows the science of God. So they knows perfectly about the three levels of absolute truth and constitutional position of living entity. This is also a Brahm realization of self-realization. Prabhuji and Mataji, this is the stage where we reach. I don't know how much practice we need to do, how we have to put, one-eyed focus in the lotus feet of Krishna. And we can't easily do it because we are so fallen and we are so attracted by all the material things around us. So we have to surrender to the one who has achieved this state. That is Srila Prabhupada or our Guru Maharaj. So following this topic, the next Krishna explained in 20th shloka is the mind. So these elevated karma yogis have no rejoicing or laments for any material event. Someone died, someone taken birth, or someone got married, or any material things. They are same. They are not lamenting for losing any material thing. Like foolish people like us, if we get a scratch on our car, we lament how this has happened. Now I have to take it to the insurance company. They want to ask me 100 questions. Why I got the car yesterday and today it got scratched or dented. These people are not concerned about these things. They said, oh, it happened, it happened. So then another point is these these people have a very focused vision that they only wants to please Krishna. That is their motive of life. So they are never attached to any sense gratification. And then because they see the contact of senses with sense object is a source of mercy. Sense pleasure is temporary and limited. So for example, I keep on feeding about different songs, different movies, or different we are watching, and we are using those five senses. What happened to a poor soul like us is we got attracted to it and then we think about it. But these liberated karma yogi doesn't even want to watch or listen to anything which is material or nonsense. They only want to listen to Krishna Katha, and they only want to read Krishna books or related to teachings of Srila Prabhu, relating to teachings of Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and they just want to more and more follows. That's why it says in 24th shloka here that he experiences great happiness within because they got the higher taste. Let's see what is there in 23rd to 26 in little more detail. Internal and external behavior activities of self-realized soul. How their behavior is. They tolerate the forces of desire and anger, urges of senses till death. So then the question arises how he or she tolerates. Fix their meditation on super soul. Soon attains the liberation in future by focusing their happiness, what activities and goal inwards. Like, okay, I am taking a Mangla Arti darshan. What happiness we got from it. So, for example, whenever you take a Krishna's darshan, what happiness we are getting, they only relies on that and purifying by external activities by working for the benefit of others. When we say working for benefits of other, when they're focusing on their happiness and they put their meditation on it, so what will happen? So they're gonna start doing it, taking it seriously and spreading the name how Srila Prabhupada and our Gurudev said and how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Janma sarthak kori, kara pura upakar. Upakar means we fallen devotees like us. Srila Prabhupada has given so much knowledge in terms of his books, his lectures, his army of very great devotees or disciples who are running 24 hours around and doing preaching. So this is just a summary of 27 and 28. Liberation through Ashtanga Yoga. One can be free from desire, fear, and anger, fully liberated through Ashtanga Yoga. So now here we talk about this that we were just reading about it, that 8 pages of Ashtanga Yoga. Yam, Niyam. Yam is what are do's, Niyam is what are don'ts, and asanas are like, we do like in positions we are sitting, how we should sit, how we would breathe, and then we do pranayama. So what modern yoga is teaching us right now is we just stuck with pranayama. We do asanas, and in modern yoga or the so-called yoga studios doesn't not really much talk about yam and niyam. They only talk about asana and pranayams. That's it. That they say, okay, now you're fit and you just go in the wild and do whatever you want to do. But this is how it should be. The real yogic culture or real yoga is when you follow these. What is the purpose of doing this Ashtanga yoga? So that we can liberate or we can go closer to Vishnu or Krishna. But in Kali Yuga, we are just following and doing it for our own health reasons, so-called health reasons. And then we become unhappy after some time because we don't realize what is the benefit. So then we are talking about like how to perform Ashtanga yoga, sitting out in sorry about that.
Ian, come down quick.
lei ma non mangiando? Quelli di baciarci? Ah, come mamma ci vinci lì. Non li parli?
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. So here we say is how to perform shutting down external stance of that, keeping eyes concentrated, eyebrows suspending, breath controls, the mind, senses, and intelligence, transcendentalist aiming at liberation, free from okay. But then Prabhuji and Mataji Srila Prabhupada has very well explained in the same sloka. Said he said Krishna consciousness is the easiest form of yoga. One can easily engage in devotional service and do not risk of losing his senses to some other engagement. Thus, in a better way of controlling senses than Ashtanga Yoga. So, and realization. So, what happens on the Ashtanga Yoga side? We know the example of I will explain in the detail in later, like Vishwamitra was doing meditation or performing Ashtanga yoga and for so long, and his his meditation was disturbed by an apsara, and he got agitated because of he just got lust, and he just got married, and again he performed, and again he realized that he went back to perform Ashtanga yoga, and he again got disturbed by another apsara, and then in that he got angry. So that means when he was performing Ashtanga yoga, a very senior yogi, he got disturbed by two apsaras, from one from the lust and one from the anger. That means two of his senses were got disturbed. So realization is one can immediately understand one's spiritual position. That realization is Krishna consciousness. But how we got realized? When we do chanting, Krishna has told us we are soul, we are not this body, and then one can understand the supreme Lord. One can understand the supreme Lord by devotional service. One is qualified to feel the presence of Lord everywhere. But then we will see how this happens, how we feel it. So this is the chart where the four Srila Prabhupada has, or Krishna has explained in very detail, and this will come in another chapter also, how we should do. So it divides into two parts: Hatha Yoga and Samayama. So Hatha Yoga consists of yamas, niyamas, asana, and prayanas. So the yamas are ahimsa, that means we should not kill anyone, or satya, non-lying, astya, not stealing, brahmacharya, sense control, and apragara, no possessiveness. And then there is purities, the observance we should need to do: purity, contentment. These are the kriyas: austerity, study, and surrender. So these three we are also there in Krishna consciousness. But you go and talk to any hatha yogi. Are these really performing these activities? Someone will yes, someone say no. So there is a Srila Prabhupada that explained is very good example. He says here, now here is a hint of a yoga practice, shutting out the external object. There's another process called bhakti yoga. So you see here, there are two examples here. Two examples. One is of Sobri Muni, which comes in our Srimad Bhagavatam. He just, he was doing meditation under the Ramuna river, and he just opened his eyes and found the two fishes were mating, and he got agitated, and he just went out his meditation, and he married so many daughters of a king. So the same time in a Kali Yuga, when our Haridas Thakur was chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, he withdraw his senses from the sense object, and nothing was attracted to him. Even the ruler at that time, that Muslim ruler at that time, sent the beautifulest of the one of the ladies to disturb Mahaprabhu, to disturb Haridas Thakur's meditation or Hare Krishna Mahamantra routine. She was not able to, because he kept his eyes open and doing Hare Krishna Mahamantra. But on the other side, the yogi in the river was meditating like Ashtanga yogi, but he was not able to achieve which Haridas Thakur was able to achieve by only following a simple yoga practice called Bhakti Yoga. So Srila Prabhupada once also said that, so when he was in New York, so they said that one of the disciples said, there are so many beautiful ladies, Prabhupada, so what you can do? Prabhupada said that you treat all those beautiful ladies as the gopis of Lord Krishna, because these all women are pretty as what gopis of Krishna. So that's the tradition in our Vaishnava culture. Besides our wife, every younger or elder lady we called Mataji. So same for the Matajis also, that besides her husband, every other person is Prabhu, or the senior, we call it. So that's follow, and let's go. So see, by Prabhupada ji so well explaining that by force you can't control the senses. There are many instances where great yogis have failed to do. We talked about Vishwamitra, we talk about Saurabhi Muni. Both were failed to control their senses, and those who can. So there are so many other. They said that those who are not engaged in Krishna consciousness simply artificially trying to suppress their emotions, or trying to, they're just trying and they got failed, like Vishwamitra Muni, Durvasa Muni. They were the great instances, but they are all artificial. But the process is recommended. They are successful to an extent when they do Ashtanga yoga. But when they do Bhakti yoga, by performing all the different type, like doing Abhishekam, offering Prasadam, decorating Krishna, and doing all the services like explained here, we can control, or we can. So Srila Prabhupada, if you hear Srila Prabhupada lecture or hear Prabhupada's discussion, Prabhupada never talked about, controlling. Prabhupada always said, or use your senses towards Krishna service. Use everything what you got towards Krishna service. I was reading one lecture very recently where they talk about, that how we can remember Krishna while we're doing work. How we can, because we have to do work and we have to make money. How we can remember, or how we can, that is not Krishna consciousness in a way, because we are going into material world and we are doing, service. So the Prabhuji, that Amindra Das Prabhuji given a very beautiful thing. He said, when you go to work, just pray to Krishna and say, Krishna, I am doing this work so that I will make money for you, so that I can spend money by in giving donations to Krishna services, Krishna temple, and also I can use that money to, in a way I can take care of my family. If I take care of my family well, in that way I can perform all my activities, devotional activities properly. So in that way, we should go to work and do our work and come back and give that offering to Krishna. But Krishna, today I went to work and this is my offering to you, and so that we can accept that as a prasadam and use for our material needs, and also we do take that money and do some charity. So that is very important. And then some of the Ashtayangas, Ashtayogis or Ashtanga yogis, or these neophyte says that. So how, for example, how these things will be arranged? How, for example, they will say very different thing. How Krishna supplies everything. So there is a saying that Krishna supply for everything. For example, back in the days there was a king who gives, make sure that a good king who makes sure that all the people in my kingdom has to be fed properly. So he makes sure he make all the arrangements, and he makes sure that everyone is properly satisfied with the food and other things. Here it is where he talks about state is arranging supplies for the citizens. How many? The humankind only. But if you see this, if the humankind, a state is providing or a king is providing, Prabhuji and Mataji, we need to think is that way. Who is providing to these elephants? Who is providing to this giraffe and lions, the buffaloes, the monkeys who live live in the jungle? The king responsibility, or the state responsibility is not to provide them, but who is providing? We need to see Krishna is providing. So Krishna is supplying food to the elephant from elephant to the end. Why not Krishna will provide to me? So these kind of arguments we need to tell these gyanis who don't understand in the bhakti yoga, who don't understand the supremacy of Krishna. So there we will say, okay, who is providing? Krishna is providing. Do you see any elephant starving? Do you see anyone? It's only us, we are, just like a child, they say, just like a child in the lap of a mother is so confident. So mother is providing the comfort, food, dress, and everything. But why we should have to say Krishna is also providing to all the living beings around the world. How he is providing? Krishna tells Mahamaya. Mahamaya is nothing but Durga Maya. So Durga is one who is providing us with the grains, the sunlight, sun. Krishna in a way had made arrangements to provide us everything. So why I'm trying to say this, because some people also argue, if we, like, the yoga, those who don't believe the supremacy of Krishna, they will say, okay, yoga is helping us in this way and that way, meditation is there, but they don't understand the top hierarchy, whom they are meditating for. So that is very important. So here they are saying as someone grows, keeps away from the mother and father, it's called independence. That's what we are doing. So we are staying away from our mother and father, and still, we want to be happy in this material, but we are not realizing that we are not happy. Only happiness is there when we try to connect to our spiritual father. And how we will try to connect to our spiritual father? By chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, by saying Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. In 5.29, Srila Prabhupada has very well explained the conditioned souls with the clutches of illusory energy are all anxious to attain peace. In every part of this world, if you see how many wars are happening, so much famine is happening, every person is just trying to find peace, but they are not finding peace because we are not surrendering to the right person. So we should, if we want peace, we should surrender to Krishna. So here is Srila Prabhupada said, the peace formula is this: Lord Krishna is the beneficiary in all human activities, and men should offer everything to the transcendental service of the Lord because he is the proprietor of all the planets. And then Srila Prabhupada talks about this: the under the spell of illusion, living entities are trying to be the lords of their survey. So you can see everybody wants to be, wants to rule on someone. For example, a man get married to a wife or a lady, and then he thinks, I'm gonna rule her. I'm gonna rule her. I'm gonna tell her what to do, what not to do, and then they will have kids, and they will say things, same thing for because they want to rule. But what happens in the end? The man becomes a sufferer because he get attached, and each and everybody get attached in that family. And then they will say, oh, so now I just want to rule, but this other way around, they are ruling us. Even Srila Prabhupada always gives an example: if you're not surrendered to God, you will surrender to dog. So because we are a human nature, we have to surrender to someone. So Srila Prabhupada always said we have to say Lord is the master of material nature. And who is the Lord? Supreme Personality of Godhead. We can't be a Lord. We can't control anything. We can't even control that. I'm going to sleep tonight. Will I gonna wake up tomorrow? It is not even our hands. It is in the hands of Lord Krishna. So Krishna is the supreme predominator, and all living entities, subordinates like Durga Maya, Shivji, Hanumanji, they are all helping Krishna to run this material nature. So even there is an example in, the Lord speaks in abbreviated, it explained, the sixth is going to explain. So Krishna said, what I'm telling you here, I'm going to explain it to you in the next chapter in detail. So what Krishna is talking about, so see, Jnani becomes the Ashtanga Yoga, and Ashtanga Yoga becomes the Bhakti Yoga. So here, if you can see a picture, is a picture of a Dhruv Maharaj. Dhruv Maharaj did meditation for, he properly followed Jnana Yoga as he received Jnana from Narad Muni, spiritual master. And then he did all the practices of eightfolds of Ashtanga Yoga, and he got the darshan of Lord Vishnu. But also Krishna is also telling to Arjuna to become, to come into a position of Ashtanga Yoga, which is divisible into eightfold procedure, which I already explained. And then Krishna consciousness person, however, as Krishna, so Krishna has given, Prabhupada has given one more topic. Prabhupada has given one more explanation, saying a Krishna conscious person, however, being always engaged in devotional service, does not risk losing his senses to some other engagement. So this bhakti yoga, or by chanting or by surrendering to Krishna consciousness, or surrendering to your Guru Prabhupada and to Krishna, we can easily achieve the bhakti yoga. And bhakti yoga is far better than Ashtanga yoga. So then we talk about, these two sense also talks about the Gyan of Atma. One should concentrate the mind upon seeing the Atma. This is a process of yoga described in these two verses. So one is the withdrawing mind from the sense objects through externally. So we have five sense objects, right? So these, we need to giving up the memories of those sensations. For example, so that's why I said that we see the movies and we're listening to the material songs. We got so much attached to it, it leaves an impression. So what as a Krishna consciousness person, we need to drive out those sense objects such as sound, touch, form, taste, and smell for pratihara process in yoga. Srila Prabhupada said, we need to use this to remove or delete all our material contaminants, bad things which materially we are getting. We should utilize those in a proper way. So this is how meditation should be. The eyes should be focused on the eyebrows. Closed mind will become in. If we close our eyes, then we can slow. I have tried that. When I try and sit in meditation, I close my eyes, I go to sleep. I think it happens to almost every one of us. So that's why they said we need to open. If we open our eyes, then we will see the external objects, and that's what it's explained detail here. So our meditation position should be like this, keeping eyes half closed and focus between the eyebrows. Voice stopping up and down movements of prana and apana, moving in the nostrils. So, see, it's so tough. I don't know how people do it. I always feel like how you control your breath in that way that you are so such person who engaged in contemplating Atma, whose only goal is liberation, being devoid of desire, fear. So Prabhupada ji explaining in it, who can do that? But this yoga process helps one become from all kinds of fear and anger, thus feels the presence of Supreme Soul. So we should do these practices if one can, but to understand what is our relationship with Superior Soul. Then Srila Prabhupada has explained in detail how we should engage in Krishna consciousness. So here, how we engage in Krishna consciousness and renounce the result of one work, which is karma yoga, and meditate on Brahman, which that means knowledge or renunciation increases. Then meditated on the super soul, the meditation increase, and the topmost and the easiest one is serve the personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna. So Bhakti Yoga is a system that Gita recommends above all others because it is very simple, pure, easy to perform. One can become simply by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So here, this is the last shloka of this, where Krishna is saying, knowing me who is an object of worship, the karmis and jnanis who do sacrifice and penance, the object of worship of yogis as Paramatma, and the object of worship of the devotees, the friend of all entities by giving instruction on bhakti. Ashtanga yoga attains liberation. So Srila Prabhupada, even Krishna is explaining to do bhakti. Keep on saying bhakti. Even knowing me as a protector of sacrifice and austerities, the master of all controllers and the protector of all living beings, he attains liberation. So it is like very well explained here that we should know. So now we take it by Bhuktaram Yajna Tapsam. I am the guardian Bhuktaram of Yajna of all karma yogis and the austerity Tapsam of all jnanis. That means that I am the object of worship of the karma yogis and jnanis. Krishna is keep on explaining that I am the one who is taking all the sacrifices what you make, all the austerities what you make. Then there is a second line which says Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. I am the great controller of all people and the Paramatma, the object of worship of Ashtanga yogis. He says he is the greatest Lord Maheshwaram of all beings, Brahma, Shiva and Sarva Lokas. So and then the third line it says them Sarva Bhutanam. I am friends of all entities. Krishna didn't say I am friends only to humans. Krishna said all entities. I am the person who gives benefits to all entities by instruction about bhakti through the medium of my devotees out of my mercy. And I am the object of worship for all devotees. So then the last line, Gyatva Mam Shantim Rachati. One cannot attain realization of me, whom I am beyond the modes of Sataguna. Sattva Guya Jnana. I have said that I am attainable only by bhakti. So Krishna is explaining here again and again what we need to do is bhakti. In the same way, yogi, only bhakti, which is beyond the mode by realizing me as Paramatma, the object of worship attains liberation. So Krishna is saying, if you don't do it that way or don't attain me through bhakti and you try to do the Gyan, the Ashtanga yoga way, you only reach the object of liberation. So That Srila Prabhupada is very well explained in it. Even Ramanuja said, knowing me as a supreme Lord of all the words and the friend of all, considering Karma Yogi to be my worship, he will become gladly engaged in it. All beings endeavor to please a friend. So here, this chapter explains a lot about Gyan and Yoga and Nish. So this chapter was started with Nishkam Karma, that how we can do nishkama karma, like we leave everything results to Krishna and do our work, so attain liberation. After what? After realizing that who is Atma and who is Paramatma. So these two important things are there, that this chapter starts with the topic of nishkam karma, that karma yoga, and then Krishna explains slowly how to attain liberation and what kind of people are there who liberate, or the liberated souls who achieve this. So, and it also talks about the by Nishkama Karma, the most prominent yoga, which has within Jnana, the Shanti attains liberation. This is the meaning of fifth chapter. We need to understand. So there are so many things. Srila Prabhupada also said, who is the, I think I am almost close to the time, but I try to finish. Srila Prabhupada, this is very good. I like this. Srila Prabhupada, and this shloka is very important, 529. Why this is important? It's here, Srila Prabhupada has very clearly mentioned about, because Prabhupada very, I hope I am audible to everyone. So here the following things must be understood to attain peace. Krishna is the ultimate beneficiary. We need to say it again and again and again so that our false ego becomes a true ego. What is a true ego? When we understand that we are the servants of Lord Krishna and He is the ultimate beneficiary, that stage when we reach or will reach someday, then it becomes a true ego in a way that yes, we are the ultimate beneficiary. Krishna is the ultimate beneficiary and we are his servant. And second one is, he is the greatest. No one is greater than he. Living entities try to be dominators or but are dominated by one force or another, by the material energy of the Lord. All, including demigods, are under in Krishna's control. So one more thing, he is the master of Maya. Living entities are bound by stringent laws of nature. Unless one understands these bare facts, it is not possible to achieve peace in the world, either individually or collectively. So, three important points or takeaways here. Krishna is the ultimate beneficiary. He is the greatest. He is the master of Maya. So, what is work in Krishna consciousness mean? Work with the knowledge of Krishna as predominator. Full knowledge of Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. Direct Krishna consciousness is Bhakti Yoga, and Jnana Yoga is the path leading to Bhakti Yoga. So, glories of Krishna consciousness, pure soul get entangled in matter. Krishna consciousness bring one spiritual life even when one is under the matter. It arouses spiritual existence even while he in this material world. More one advances, more one feed from the matter. And Prabhupada has a very good example, like, that Srila Prabhupada has given a very good example. He's here that just happened. So Srila Prabhupada is the beautiful example. Srila Prabhupada has sent to this world. He has used his all 24 hours in the service of Krishna. So how we can, and Srila Prabhupada also talked about how we attain Brahma Nirvana. Lord is impartial. All depends on one practical performance in Krishna consciousness. Furthermore, Krishna consciousness helps to control the senses and influence of desire and anger. One who stands fast in Krishna consciousness, controlling the passion, remain in Brahma Nirvana or a transcendental stage. So then question arises, what is Ashtanga Yoga then? It is automatically practiced in Krishna, because as we are, the ultimate purpose is served as we are pleasing Krishna by performing all the activities, keeping Krishna as in center, all the Ashtanga Yoga, principles are qualified. Krishna consciousness is the highest perfection. Ashtanga Yoga only prefaces perfection by Bhakti Yoga. Krishna consciousness alone can award peace to a human being. So that is the summary of this verse. A person in fully consciousness of Krishna, who knows Krishna as the supreme controller and benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attain peace from the pangs of material desire. So thank you very much. If you have any questions, please you can ask. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Giriraj Prabhu. Very wonderful
Prabhu.
class. Nice
Hare Krishna.
presentations and everything. It was
Thank you, Prabhu.
very well planned, well organized. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thank you, sir, Prabhuji. Okay, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai. अच्छा कल्पतयो भ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यो पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. जय. हरे कृष्णा.
His Grace Giriraj Achyutas Prabhuji ki jai.
जय. श्रील गुरुदेव की जय. जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. हरे कृष्णा प्रभु. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare